What is going on, guys? So today we're doing a little upgrade, slight upgrade. My rotors on my brakes have been cooked for the past 3 years. I've raged the crap out of these things up in Vermont. As for the pads, I'm basically skimming the little tab. What I actually want to show you guys what I think is the best setup for your Lexus, and honestly, you absolutely cannot go wrong with some Stoptech rotors and some Akebono brake pads. The only reason I'm going with Akebono is because the main factor that we all hate to deal with is brake dust. So this, honestly, from the reviews that I've read over the forums, Tire Rack has like a rating system. These give you the less brake dust and the best performance. Right now I do have Centric Posi Quiet brake pads. Honestly, they're great. They do give off a lot of brake dust, but they do last a long time. I've raged on these sets for a good while now. I mean, good over 2 years, and I have neglected to change my brake pads. But with that being said, we're gonna rip through these boxes. If you guys notice already, I always wear a hat in my videos. Absolutely love dad hats. So I did get a package in the mail, and I absolutely love this package. Shout out to the homie Jimmy Oaks for the dope ass design. Absolutely killed it on this one. And the quality is great. But, you know, being that I love dad hats and I love rocking dad hats, I also caught myself 2 of these, what do you call them? They're like sweatbands, but you can put them on your brake master cylinder. Unfortunately, these are way too small for my brake master cylinder, so the reason why I bought 2 is because I'm going to cut them up and make them fit. And the weird thing that I also got in the same package is this Pikachu Pokemon card, which I absolutely appreciate. And definitely shout out to the guys as well. I don't go a day without watching one of those videos. Let's get these brakes started, man, because it's getting hot. Alright guys, so if you guys do like the videos and the content that I do put out, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, because I do appreciate it. So the first thing you're gonna want to do, take the wheel off, obviously. One thing I don't recommend, not having a jack stand underneath. Hopefully it won't be here for too long, so I don't really mind having it without the jack stand. Size on these back bolts are 17. Oh! So what you're gonna want to do is take a little needle nose and see if you can turn it in your direction, like so, and pull out. Now, it's a good idea to replace these stupid little things, but unfortunately I don't have one, so gotta keep this aside. Let's see if we can poke this pin out, just like that. Push on the spring to relieve some tension. I gotta clean that up because that's absolutely rusted and filled the brake dust. So what we're gonna do now is try to pie. So you're always gonna want to have a bucket to hold your caliper, because you obviously don't want to kink this line. This is actually a pretty sick little tool. It basically pushes your piston back in. So when you ratchet it, it pushes it back down. So that way you don't have to be stressing with a C-clamp and the whole 9 and worrying about, you know, if you got it straight. This actually puts it exactly equalized pressure on both sides, pretty flush to the piston itself. Definitely worth buying. It does get a little finicky trying to get this all the way to stretch out, because you have to hold this little, I don't know, this little socket looking thing, and once you get it to lock on both sides, it's pretty much good to go. So definitely recommend this. Alright, so what you're going to want to do before we even install these brakes is spray it with some brake sparks cleaner. It has a coating on it so it doesn't corrust, bro. What? So it doesn't corrode while it's packaged up at their shop. So I'm gonna want to spray that off. Out with the old. On with the new. Now, I do wish I did have some anti-seize here. It would really help for the next time I want to take these things off, but unfortunately I don't, so I am just gonna rock it without. Now, on with the new. Place your spring in, line your pads, push the pin in, and put the cotter pin in. Simple. And we're pretty much done, boys. Shit looks heat. Alright, so what I do love about these brake rotors is that it's already black. I don't really have to paint it, which is great. And it fits well. Everything seems snug. Alright guys, if you guys are ever curious as to if you got the direction right on your brakes, you could just follow this right here and pretty much match it. So it shows that the line's facing that way. That's the rotation of the tire, and pretty much set. These are fairly simple. Honestly, it's just this 14 millimeter right there, and you got that 17 millimeters out there. That's the actual bracket for this thing. The 14 millimeter is that little caliper itself, and that's about it. So basically time lapse this. Alright, look. So this is your basically your hub and your parking brake, right? So this somehow gets freaking glued onto there. It's like so hard to come off. Alright guys, so yesterday I had a problem installing my rear brake calipers, and unfortunately I couldn't get them off whatsoever. I actually hammered it out, which is something that I don't recommend. But I did find this out the morning after, because it was absolutely killing me to figure out what the hell, why was it not opening or whatever it was. So alright, so basically what it is, it's the parking shoes for the parking brake behind the rotor itself. I don't really use mine. The reason why it's so seized on is because of the fact that I don't use it. So it gets kind of bind with all the rust and everything that's going on there. So in order for you to get that out, you would have to rotate the hub itself, and you could do this by jacking the car up in the rear, I think putting it in neutral, and it should rotate the wheels. And once you rotate the hub to get an access point to the wheel itself, then you start rotating the lever. I believe if you rotate upward, it retracts the shoes, and if you rotate downwards, it expands the shoes. I didn't know this, so I just wanted to share that information, because yesterday I hammered the crap out of these rotors, and I believe I kind of ruined 2 springs on each end of my brakes. So just keep that in mind when you guys are doing rear rotors. Usually they just come up with those little M8 bolts. You just pop them in the rotor in the front and they pop right out, but unfortunately I had to go through hell just to get these out. Just make sure you readjust back the wheel to the right position. Just count the turns or revolutions that you turned it, and return it back once you install the new rotor. And once that happens, you're honestly good to go. Ooh, looking way better than the rusty crusty shit I had before. Definitely gotta paint those calipers one day. But the fronts though, oh my god, feels good to have good brakes, you know, for that 20 plus horsepower, you know what I'm saying? Your boy gonna be flying. All right, well, time for a test drive, guys. If you do like this video, give it a thumbs up, and you know, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching. You guys are the best. Peace.